You're a Mount Laurel martial arts guy, and I'm the instructor at Donato Karate Center. Wanted to come on here to just share my thoughts on what kind of martial arts school I teach at. And it's without a question, guys, we are Donato Karate Center is a family martial arts school, not a tournament school, not what I call a ground and pound school. And in today's episode of the Black Belt Strong Zone, I'm going to be talking about that. I'm talking about what we do, what we teach, who we teach at our school. But before we get started, if you want to find out more about our school, I made it very, very easy. I created this very, very easy, simple, not fancy website called martialarts2020.com. Go there, find out more about our school. And if you want to find out whether our school, Donato Karate Center, is a right fit for you, go to martialarts2020.com. Okay. And oh, by the way, if any of you guys are watching, do me a big favor. Can you type in the comment section, martialarts2020.com? Do me that favor right below in the martialarts2020.com. Okay. So anyway, so yeah, in today's episode, I'm going to share how we teach and who we teach at Donato Karate Center, because it's very different from when I started martial arts back in 1970. 1970 was when I started martial arts, a long time ago. So I will be 59 years old. So we're talking about a long time, but it was very different when I started. These days, our school, our program, it's so different. It changed. I think really the beginning of the change was when the Karate Kid came out in the 80s. And that really gave karate teachers and parents really, they had this idea that, oh my gosh, the martial arts really can help my child that's shy, my child that has a low self-esteem, and my child that really is an easy target for those bullies out there, for those mean kids out there. And so in my mind, there are three kinds of schools of thought. I'm sure you probably could come up with others, and other martial artists out there probably would agree with me, and some may disagree with me. But in my mind, there are three kinds of schools. One's a family martial arts school. Another one is a tournament kind of school, a school that's designed for tournaments, where you go in there and the goal of the school is basically to create champions that will go to tournaments and win. And then there are schools that I would call ground and pound schools. You go in there, and your ambition, students' ambition, really is to learn how to beat someone down and to basically ground and pound and neutralize them in a physical sense, in a mental sense. It's a ground and pound school. We are a martial arts school, and what I want to do is really share with you what that means to me, what that means at Donato Karate Center. Now, remember, when I first came to Donato Karate, I first got met Master Donato back in 1999, and shortly after that, I wanted to stay in town, stay here in Mount Laurel, and raise a family. And I was traveling around the world. My wife and I, we were traveling as performing artists. And we both decided that we wanted to stay in the United States and start a family. And so I told Master Donato this, and I said the only challenge that my wife and I had, that we were making money as performing artists traveling around the world. And we spent most of our time in Europe. But I wanted to stay in one place. And so I was training with Master Donato. Master Donato was growing. Donato Karate was doing great. He had a lot of students, and it was just him and Mrs. Donato and a couple of assistant instructors. But he really saw an opportunity to bring on another instructor full time. And he saw that I had some skill sets as far as a martial artist. I had the energy, and there was an opportunity for he and I. And so he offered me an opportunity to come on full time. And I said, yay, excellent. I can stay in Mount Laurel, have a job, and start a family. And so I came on board. And I remember our first belt promotions. Now, keep in mind that I was from the old school mindset. I was from basically a ground and pound, a beating them, a sparring school, full contact and tournament kind of school. Get in there, just get after it, beat people up and get beaten up. And our belt promotions were very different back then. Yeah. And so my first belt promotion, I remember sitting at the table with Master Donato, and the students were all sitting with their legs crossed, and they were not keyoping to my liking. And I remember I started banging, banging, banging on the table. I mean, boom, 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 boom. And I started yelling at the students. And I did this because that's the way I was taught. And I was yelling and reaming at the kids. I need key outs from you guys. You got to be louder than that. What's going on there? Boom, boom, boom. And I think Master Donato later on shared with me that really startled him, startled everyone. But that's the reason why I did it, to wake everyone up and to drive my point. And I was like really hardcore grounding and pounding the table. So anyway, I remember Master Donato, after the belt promotions, he came up with me. I remember he had this a little smile on his face. He said, well, Master, well, I wasn't a master then. He said, Mr. Lisiaga, when we have belt promotions, it's great. I love your enthusiasm. This is what he said. I love your enthusiasm, and I get it. Next time, when you want to give them a message and teach them something, teach it to them, and then give them an example, and then let them demonstrate the example. And so basically, he was teaching me this praise, correct, praise. Praise them first, correct them, and then praise them again. Now, this was foreign to me. I didn't know that. I came out of a world that was like basically a ground and pound and tournament environment. And so he taught me very quickly that our program at Donato Karate Center was really to build people up, to build kids up, to build families up. And this is when I started really learning about a family martial arts school. It was about the family. It was about the children, and it was about the parents meeting the needs of their children. And this was the beginning of my lesson. So we are a family martial arts school. And what that means is that we take the time to educate ourselves and to help our students. And typically our students that come to our school are families that have children. We teach as young as 3.5 years old. And when parents call us up, we ask them right away, okay, why are you thinking of martial arts for your child? And we teach as young as 3.5 years old. And 97% of the time, they're going to say, well, I want my child to have more focus. I want my child to be more confident. They're a little shy. They're very timid, and they're getting picked on in school. Or they have a lot of energy. I want them to learn self-control. Or, they're not really moving too much. They're not very physical. They don't have much fitness. I want them to move more. And I want them to, there's a lot of times they're on the devices, and I want them to move more. So we are a family martial arts school, and we're serving parents that have children that the parents want the children to become more empowered. And that's who we serve. That's the kind of martial arts school that we are, a family martial arts school where parents bring their kids as young as 3.5 years old. And it's very different than when I came up, or when I started martial arts, and it evolved. And I think it's great. Martial arts now, these days, and most schools like our school are family martial arts schools. They are serving the family. So it's not uncommon when you come to our school at Donato Karate Center. It's not uncommon. If you stay there the whole day, you will see little champions of 3.5 years old through 6 years old training. And then in another class, you'll see our 7-year-olds up through 11-year-olds training. And then you'll see our adult class, 12 years old up through to the adults. And then when you watch all the classes, you'll see kids that are great kickers, have a lot of power, but then you'll also see kids that are struggling, trying to get their legs up, trying to do a push-up, can't even do one push-up. You'll see a kid that's very shy, very timid. You'll see a child that's very over the top, high energy, and we're helping all of them. We're moving around, all our instructors, assistant instructors, we're serving each and every student in their unique way. You'll also see in our adult class, you'll see parents training. You'll see them doing their best and doing their push-ups, doing their sit-ups, and working through the class, and everyone does their best. It's a family martial arts school. That's what you'll see at Donato Karate Center. So it's so important that when we think of martial arts, and this is my goal, my ambition is really to help people see martial arts and what it is for today, not what it is in the movies, not what it was like back in the 70s, 80s, or even the 90s, but what it is today in 2020 as we move forward. And so if you are interested in martial arts and you're not a student at Donato Karate Center and you'd like to find out more, go to a website that I created. It's very easy. There's one video of me saying hello, thanks for coming here, but mostly it's just questions that I answer that most parents ask about. They want to know what our class schedule is, what ages that we teach, how much is this going to cost, and I answer all those questions. Just go to martialarts2020.com and just go through that. It's very easy. You could definitely go to donatokarate.com to see our class schedule, and all that, or you can call us at 856-235-0414. You can send me a comment. But if you go to martialarts2020.com, very easy, not a fancy website. And it's almost embarrassing for me, but how much little time I put into it. But I spend more time really answering the questions that parents want answered. I spend more time there than trying to figure out what pictures to put on it and what to type in there, what videos and everything like that. So anyway, thanks for spending this time with me today. martialarts2020.com, find out more. And we are a family martial arts school. We are not what we call a ground and pound school. We are not a tournament school. We are for moms and dads with kids that are ages 3.5 years old and up is where we start, all the way up. Okay, so if you're a family that has a 3.5 years old or older, and you're interested in martial arts, go to martialarts2020.com, connect with me, and be happy to have you guys come on by and visit our school. Other than that, guys, have a great day. Talk to you guys soon. Take care.